Hello, I'm the Resolute Cartographer, and this is the 16th video in my Mass Effect Legendary Edition series. In the last video, we cleaned up the mistakes of the Exogeny Corporation with regards to Thorian Creepers and Husks. In this video, we're going to visit a couple of systems in the Hades Gamma Cluster that have opened thanks to our morality level. We're then going to encounter Garrus' nemesis, Dr. Salion. Alright, let's get going. Alright, let's leave behind the MSV Cornucopia and the Caspian system and the Maroon Sea. And we're going to be heading on over to the Hades Gamma Cluster. And we got two new systems here. We're going to be heading on over to the Caucasus system. Okay, so it looks like we got 5 planets here and an asteroid belt. Let's start with the planet Zayarder. An enigmatic terrestrial planet, Zayarder has a hazy atmosphere of nitrogen and argon. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of calcium with deposits of sodium. 3 times in the last century, ships stopping to discharge at Triarmus have reported geometric patterns of light on the dark side of Zayarder. Attempts at closer investigation have proved fruitless. The lights disappear when ships approach the inner system. Surveying it, we find the heavy metal of mercury. And I think that's the planet we're landing on. Zamari? Let me see, where is this other planet? Triarmus, okay. Zamari. Zamari is a small, airless, cratered terrestrial, a lifeless rock quite similar to Luna. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of silicates, though one hemisphere has several seas of dark basaltic rock. Okay. And then, let's check the asteroid belt. Nothing? Alright. Feringor. A large but low-density terrestrial world, Feringor is generally believed to consist mainly of water ice. Occasional upwellings of metals caused by interacting tidal forces of several large moons suggest the core is small but extremely dense. Feringor has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of dark, carbon-laced water ice. 10 years ago, Feringor's grim surface color and dim illumination drew the cinematographer Risa Uvarsson to film the exterior scenes of Starless on location. Acknowledged as a masterpiece of gothic horror, the sets, well preserved by the vacuum, draw hundreds of tourists to the backwater system every year. Very neat. Surveying it, we find the rare element polonium. And here we go, Triarmus. Triarmus is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with a powerful magnetic field, making it a popular discharge site for freighters working the Anansi-Ishtar shipping route. It is popular enough, in fact, that Quarian ships can often be found loitering in orbit, selling the freighter crews cheap refreshments, salvage, and odd craftswork assembled by their children. There are no ships in orbit at present, however. Okay. And now here we go, Chohi. Chohi is a terrestrial planet whose surface is mainly composed of aluminum with numerous deposits of calcium. Though it has enough mass to retain a dense atmosphere, Chohi is nearly a vacuum. This lack of atmosphere allows for a moderate average temperature, but the differences between night and day are extreme. The surface of Chohi's sunward side is usually covered by a haze of volatiles, mainly water vapor and carbon dioxide, which return to the ground as frost over the course of the long, cold night. The Surtur Foundation has established a research outpost on Chohi to investigate the native subterranean life of Chohi, which shows incredible resilience to extremes of heat and cold. Okay. Alright, now to remind you why we're here for Admiral Hackett, who told us that there's an issue here, and that gave us the quest, the besieged base. Biotic fanatics have taken over a medical station and drugged innocent researchers to serve as human shields. You must eliminate the biotics while minimizing innocent casualties. Get to the medical base on Chohi, located in the Caucasus system in the Hades Gamma Cluster, and eliminate the biotics while avoiding civilian casualties. Now we get this mission because we have a high Paragon score. Taking a look at the map, we are first going to head right up here to this anomalous signal. Alright. You can see the signal transmitter. What looks like an old Turian outpost chunk. A fuel tank, some crates. A locked crate right here next to a crashed probe. With a pistol and 2 assault rifles, and Matriarch's writings. While sifting through the pile of debris, you discovered another of Matriarch Dillanaga's writings. It's in bad shape, but most of it is still intact. Okay. We got the transmitter tower. Close to the transmitter, your comms pick up a recording of a wistful string quartet. You power the system down. Whoever lived here, they haven't been back for some time. The crates are covered with Choi's chalky dust, and the status lights of the shack indicate its atmosphere ran out long ago. Okay, what do we got here? Technician's kit with a couple of armor upgrades and more of Matriarch's writings. It looks like someone has been living in this place. The small crate held some stale food and one of Matriarch Dillanaga's writings. It's still in fairly good condition, unlike the food. Okay, getting a couple of different messages here. Let's see about this. Secure wall safe. An ammo upgrade and a weapon upgrade. And another of Matriarch Dillanaga's writings. It's not clear who owned this container, but you discovered one of Matriarch Dillanaga's writings inside. So we have 3 different copies of Matriarch Dillanaga's writings here. And that kind of makes some sense when you consider the fact that this planet here, the only way you get access to this and the overall system is by having, in my case, I think it's 80% of the possible Paragon score. Let's take a quick look at that. So you can see here my Paragon score is completely full. I have basically no Renegade. So when you get up to, I believe it's 80%, if you don't have a full Renegade score, it'll open up this opportunity. If you've gotten to something like 75% Renegade, then you'll have to get up to 90% Paragon to get this opportunity. Now, this actually also does mean that the other system that we got access to within this cluster, the Plutus system, there's supposed to be a quest there if you get to a certain level of Renegade before you get to a certain level of Paragon, or again up to like 90% Renegade. Regardless though, I can't do it because this character does not have a high enough Renegade score. Anyway though, we still will visit that system, I believe. So let's see though, I think we are done here. And we're now going to head out this way somewhere for a mineral deposit. Okay, plutonium deposit. A small deposit of the rare element plutonium. So I realized I didn't actually finish my statement at the last place. It makes sense why there were 3 writings there, because again, this is a late game planet and a late game system, and they're kind of helping you through the quest if you don't want to have to actually search through all these other systems. Anyway, next up, we're going to be heading right on over here. Alright, looks like we got some mercenaries. That's it for the mercenaries, but there is still this right over here. What do we got here? Got a corpse next to this crashed probe. This person must have died while attempting to salvage a crashed satellite. Okay. Can we do anything with the satellite? Nope, I guess not. Alright. Next up, there's debris right here. There we go. And what do we got here? Crashed probe. With a couple armor upgrades. Next up, we are going to head right on over to this mineral deposit here, and there's going to be a minor stop in between. Here we go! And down it goes. 104,000 credits, 1,976 XP. Ridiculous. Okay. Here we go. Mercury deposit. And I mean, those credits actually didn't help me at all, because, well, let me take this stuff. But as you can see, I have 9,999,999 credits. And I cannot actually sell anything more because I can't get any more credits. And it was just kind of stupid, given that half of the stuff at the end game costs 500,000. So you'd think that they'd give you one more digit at least, but no, they don't. Okay, heavy metal mercury. Up next, we've got the science base. Now we got to get in here and try not to kill anybody other than the biotic terrorists who have taken the place over. Alright, here we go. Take down the terrorists, but remember to check your targets. The civilians are so addled by the drug, they'll wander right into the middle of the firefight. So I'm thinking no grenades. Okay, we got a lot of planters here. Malfunctioning object with an ammo upgrade. Sorry if the camera move is a little bit jerky at times. My mouse is going out. I'm going to get a new one tomorrow. Okay, we got an insane scientist. And it looks like at least 5 enemies on the map.
You must die!
Okay, well, I hope that guy's not dead. I don't kill him if he did die. You've cleared the facility. Civilian losses were tolerable. Evolution of humanity, huh? Those biotics don't seem to be all that different from the other scum you deal with. Okay, well again, I didn't kill that guy that died over here. That was one of the terrorists. Unfortunately,
All clear, Commander.
We didn't manage to save him, but hopefully the rest of them will be okay.
Can you feel me growing? I'm gonna bring it all!
Okay. What about you?
They're all crawling through my fingers. I can feel their wings fluttering.
Okay. Let's see what they might have left behind in terms of usable stuff back here. Got a lot more insane scientists, I'm sure. But luckily we managed to save most of them, I think. Anything on all these shelves? Why would you have all these empty shelves? Locked crate? Got a shotgun, a pistol, and a sniper rifle. Mass Effect 2, they really dialed up the clutter. Crate with a sniper rifle and an assault rifle. In Mass Effect 1, it was just kind of like, here's some furniture. Got a secure crate with an assault rifle and a sniper rifle. And let's check the other side. Upgrade kit with a couple of ammo upgrades. And a locked crate with an assault rifle, some light human armor, and some medium Krogan armor. It looks like just a malfunctioning object back over here with an ammo upgrade. Or sorry, an armor upgrade. Alright, I will bring you back when we get back out to the, well actually, I'll bring you back when we get to the Normandy. Okay.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Good work, Commander. You took down the biotics with minimal collateral damage.
I'm sorry we lost some of the researchers, Admiral. The biotics knew what they were doing.
Nobody could have gotten out of there with fewer innocent lives lost. You saved a lot of lives today, Commander. Fifth Fleet out.
Next up, we leave behind Choe, Cacus, and we head right on over to Plutus. Okay, so, Mingato. Mingato is a sun-baked wasteland of sodium, chlorates, and radioactives. Its relatively light mass has left it tidally locked to the star Plutus with a dayside hot pole and a nightside cold pole. The powerful solar wind has stripped away most of the atmosphere. Serving it, we find the rare element uranium. Next up, Maedla. Maedla is a terrestrial planet with a light atmosphere of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. The surface is hot and mainly composed of magnesia with deposits of sulfur. Over a dozen volcanoes are currently erupting across its surface. Very hot world, but strangely doesn't have that much of an atmosphere. I'd expect more with all the volcanoes erupting. Clocrolus. That is not a fun word to say. Clocrolus is a modest rock planet roughly the size of Mars. It has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of silicate rock with deposits of aluminum and other light metals. Clocrolus has a very weak magnetic field. In addition to very high levels of solar radiation, it is not suitable for Mass Effect drive discharge operations. Surveying it, we find the rare element samarium. Seriously, that is not a fun planet name to say. Non-Nuel is where we're going to land. Let's check the asteroid belt. Alright, nothing to see there, so Varia. Varia is a huge hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of methane in its atmosphere. Okay, so back to Non-Nuel. Warning, level 1 heat hazard. Though it is one of the oldest entries in the star charts, Non-Nuel has not yet been fully mapped. It is the largest body in the asteroid belt of the blue star Plutus, not only large enough to maintain a spherical shape, but also massive enough to retain the noxious carbon and sulfur dioxides venting from its many volcanoes as an atmosphere. Nanuel is rapidly volcanic, and the source of its great heat is also the secondary source of its inordinate mass. Nanuel is a secondary source of element zero, coalesced around a large chunk of Ezo ejected by a supernova billions of years ago. Surface conditions are extremely hazardous. In addition to the thin crust and numerous magma flows, wide stretches of the landscape are coated with slippery ash and cinders ejected from the volcanoes. Wow. Okay, let's land. Okay, taking a look at the map, we are very first going to be heading right up over here to this anomaly. Alright, looks like we got a shelter with a vehicle and a dead mercenary. Checking the mercenary, we find a medallion. This mercenary was carrying a League of One medallion. There's no indication of how or where he got it. Okay, that actually just completed the last of the side quests that we had for that, where it's like you travel around the galaxy and you find these collectibles. And that was the Signs of Battle, I believe. Let me see if I can't find it. There we are. So that's all of the items that we needed to find there. So let's check the Codex entry on that. Before they joined the Citadel Council, the Solarians' most potent military tool was a small reconnaissance team known as the League of One. Their primary training was in espionage and assassination. Never more than a dozen strong, the team was adept at infiltrating the tightest defenses and eliminating all necessary obstacles. Only a few top members of the government and military were privy to the League's identities. League members wore no distinguishing garments and held no particular rank. The only evidence of their participation in the League was a small medallion presented to each member upon induction. This secrecy was maintained until the formation of the Council. In an effort to dispel rumors and appease their new Asari partners, the Solarian Union released all classified documents pertaining to the League. The League of One was suddenly exposed and in danger of being hunted by enemies of the Solarians. Before any harm could be done, the team mysteriously disappeared. Most assumed this was a convenient lie to help hide their identities, but a few months later the inner cabinet was murdered. Though there was no incriminating evidence, it was clear who was responsible. Realizing the threat posed by this rogue outfit, the Special Tasks Group dispatched a team of hunters. When they didn't return, the STG dispatched 10 of its brightest operators with broad discretionary powers. Only 2 returned. They reported no evidence of the League. No further incidents were reported, and it was assumed that the League was wiped out. Some recently declassified documents, however, suggest that there may have been a 13th member who eluded the Solarian military. Okay. So that's what we've been hunting for in terms of the ID tags and the Medals of One. Checking the crate, we see, judging by the footprints in the ash, the 2 mercenaries were facing against each other over the crate when they died. Both suffered a single gunshot wound and have a rifle close to them. Take the contents, and we find Matriarch's writings. Prying open the crate, you discover a carefully wrapped, handwritten copy of one of Matriarch Dillanaga's treatises. It is unlikely she penned it herself, but the flowing brushwork and the intricate watercolor illustrations clearly show the hand of a master scribe. Very cool. Let's check out the interior of this thing, and we got an upgrade kit with a couple ammo upgrades. Okay, let's get back on board, and next up, this debris. Alright, here we go. We got a crashed probe with a weapon upgrade, ammo upgrade, and armor upgrade. Okay, now we're gonna head right on up here. Alright, we're approaching a mineral node. And there's the Thresher Maw. There we go. Another 109,000 credits, and we're getting none of it. Okay, let's see here. Titanium deposit. We found a large deposit of the light metal titanium. Now then, we're going to head on over this way. Here we go. Samarium deposit. The rare element samarium. And let's see what's up over here. Alright, we cannot go in here. That is because this is the location of the quest, the negotiation. And I do not have a renegade score high enough to complete this quest. So, instead, we're going to be heading on down this way. Alright, here we are. And there's the Thresher Maw.
Going beyond the range of
No! Oh, Joker. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll bring you back when we get back over there again. Alright, I'm back. Come out of the ground, Thresher Maw. And it's dead. Okay. Well, we're done here. Back to the Normandy. Okay, back to the map. Now then, we're gonna go ahead and help out Garrus by heading up to the Kepler Verge, heading to the planet, to the system Herschel, and hunting down Dr. Salion. He's there in that ship, but let's take a look at the rest of the system. Tungle. Tungle is a massive terrestrial world nearly twice the size of Earth, with a dense atmosphere of nitrogen and ethane. Its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of iron, with extensive deposits of heavy metals and radioactives. It is a mineralogical treasure trove, and many corporations are lobbying for mineral rights. Okay. Very hot with a thick atmosphere, but not terribly thick. Mattol. Several attempts to chart Mattol have been made, but none have been successful. By normal standards, a small rock planet, Mattol has a dense atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide and argon, with a surprising amount of water vapor. Fogs and rains are common on the barren, lifeless rock. Mattol is pleasant enough to be considered a terraforming prospect, though its low mass and high radiation from the energetic blue star Herschel place it fairly far down on the list. Yeah, it's got about half the atmosphere and half the gravity, but it's actually not terribly hot. But part of that's probably because it doesn't have too much of an atmosphere. Let's see. Klugen. Klugen's hydrogen-helium atmosphere is given a fairly dramatic emerald tint by chlorine and ionized gases. It has nearly 100 moons. Very cool. Let's check the asteroid belt. Okay, we got a rocky asteroid. A metal-rich asteroid with a radius of 118 kilometers. Surveying it, we find the heavy metal platinum. Okay. And last out here, Klobaka. Klobaka is a moderate-sized terrestrial world with a hazy hydrocarbon atmosphere. Its surface is mainly composed of chlorides with deposits of solid and liquid form hydrocarbons. Okay? 7 degrees, so it's actually not horribly cold. MSV Fidel. The Fidel is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. In addition to the standard cargo bay, the hull has several biological research modules attached. Private owner, Dr. R. Hart. And we are, of course, bringing Garrus along with us, and a good match for that is Caden. Okay, with gear and level points put in place, let's take out Dr. Hart, who, if you don't remember, he is a mad scientist sort of a guy. Farmed organs inside of his employees' bodies.
Enemy contact!
Didn't take them out if they formed him properly. We got a test subject. It's a lot like a Thorian creeper. And indeed, they also just evolved. There's another one. These guys are relatively tough. Okay. Let's see if we can't find Dr. Hart. Garrus was hunting Dr. Hart down, back to when he was known as Dr. Salion, and he managed to give him the slip.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me from those things.
Commander, that's him. That's Dr. Saleon.
What? My name is Hart. Dr. Hart. Please, get me out of here.
Are you sure it's him?
Positive. There's no escape this time, Doctor. I'd harvest your organs first, but we don't have the time.
You're crazy. He's crazy! Please, don't let him do this to me.
We'll take him in. Drop him off with the military.
But we have him. We can't let him get away. Not again.
If he dies, we'll never know what he's been up to, or how he did it. We'll take him in, interrogate him, and he'll serve his time.
Okay. You're right. You're a very lucky Salarian. You owe the Commander your life.
Oh, thank you so very much.
I smell trouble!
What? Is he hostile now? What? Okay, why don't we... No, guys, come on. Leave the room. Leave the room. I'm gonna loot these things real quick and we'll leave. We got 2 shotguns and an ammo upgrade. Let's check the journal real quick. Where is that? Dr. Saleon is dead. You found Dr. Saleon and tried to arrest him, but he died trying to fight you off. Whatever sick experiments he was conducting are now over. Garrus seems relieved that it's now over, and Dr. Saleon is no longer free to cause havoc. Okay, but he's not dead. He's literally shooting at me right now. Causing almost no damage. We got a pistol, shotgun, and an assault rifle. Let's see, malfunctioning object. 2 armor upgrades and a weapon upgrade. Wetware kit with 2 biotic amps. And a medical station. With a couple things of light armor, 1 for a Turian, 1 for a human. Okay. I mean, do I actually have to kill him? He doesn't even seem to be Is he gonna shoot at me? I mean, I think the quest has already basically failed, so...
And so he dies anyway. What was the point of that?
You can't predict how people will act, Garrus. But you can control how you'll respond. In the end, that's what really matters.
Yeah. I don't think I ever met anyone like you, Commander. Well, I guess we're done here.
Saleon's medical equipment is stained with the blood of many species. Pale blue, violet, orange, and more than a few dark red. But his work has ended here. Time to head back to the Normandy. Okay, well I think that was actually everything in here. Let's check the cockpit and be sure there's nothing else. I'm not sure whether or not to call this a cockpit or a bridge, because, I mean, the ships aren't that big. And, I mean, I would expect a bridge to be for a larger vessel, but maybe not. Alright, well, that should do it for this video. There's only one more to go, and then we're going to go to Vermeer. But actually, before we go there, let's check one more time just real quick to see if Garrus has anything else to say now that we're back aboard the ship. Here we go.
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
What for, Garrus?
For everything. Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. Thanks, Commander.
You're welcome, Garrus.
Okay. With that, let's get back up there. And with that, we'll end the video. Now, like I said before, we're going to be going to Vermeer after one more video where we're going to be going after the last of the side missions, just to take a look at those. What we have actually currently is just investigate shipments, go to the Amazon system. Along with that, there are actually a couple more things we're going to do, but they're things that will actually only show up when we arrive in those systems. So, this has been the Irresolute Cartographer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.